Hello and welcome to AntipoDnD, where my players are getting very good at knowing exactly when to stop talking as I count in. So, this is a show in which a bunch of Australians play Dungeons and Dragons in a setting largely inspired by prehistoric Australia and New Zealand. I am David, I am the Dungeon Master. I'm joined by Kynwyn, April, Doug and Zindy, not necessarily in that order. And
it was.
Usually though.
Our heroes are in the town of Heron's Perch, a colonial settlement in the Wandering Isles on the far side of the world where they've been doing a lot of exploring. Now, they've gotten into a bit of a scrap. No, that means a fight. More of a controversy.
Awkward
Situation, yes, in which they attended a masquerade ball being hosted by the princess of the kingdom, who has recently set up shop, essentially, in Heron's Perch. And in doing so, one of them at it, I'd say inadvertently, but it was kind of vertent. I don't know.
We verted at least a little bit, yeah.
Brought a magical weapon of mass destruction, essentially a pocket nuclear warhead, into this ball, where another person who does not like our heroes was able to use the true sight that her magical mask gave her to
it's her friend with the expensive acne.
To notice the weapon and warn the princess and the Heron Guard, who immediately had our heroes arrested and dragged into the dungeon. That
was their mistake.
There was some interrogation, some questioning, much grovelling, and eventually it was determined that our heroes, or Orsi in particular, made a very foolish mistake, but no malice was intended.
Not evil, just stupid.
And nice boy.
They were released on condition that Orsi never returns to the palace or to the crown land around it again.
He banned.
During the interrogation, there was an odd moment where the captain of the Heron Guard, who had been part of the process of interrogating them, pulled our heroes aside and confessed that he was a bit concerned about the princess, or the identity of the princess, that something felt off and he couldn't quite pick it, and he can't help but worry that maybe that's not the true princess that is currently sitting on the throne in Government House, which is now the de facto palace of Heron's Perch.
And he couldn't help but notice the film crew that was following us around, and he thought, hey, maybe these guys.
And he, having recently been convinced that our heroes were not malicious and had no ill intent towards the princess, he thought, well, maybe they can help me figure out what's going on. At which point he then went back to berating you publicly in front of the other guards and sent you on your way. So where we left off last week, you were all deciding about how to proceed from here, what to do about this. And one option was to go to the library and do some research. I believe there was another option, which I do not remember. That's okay, because you all take copious notes, don't you?
Yes.
I don't remember that either.
I do, but I don't remember another option.
I don't think we did do another option.
I thought we decided to go to the library.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell us there's another option and you're gently pointing us in a direction?
We missed another side.
This is my brain failing.
Quick, David hasn't drawn the library yet.
Do you want me to draw a library? Do you anticipate the need for a battle map for this?
It depends.
Are we going to run into Orsi's dad?
Feeling like
That's an emotional battlefield, guys. It's different.
It's
Also,
still,
when your cough scared the crap out of me before, by the way.
oh, I'm sorry.
I still feel like
Christ.
it gets the gym leader music, even if it is an emotional battle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
emotional
sure.
battles count.
I think I sent a message to
Barrett.
Yeah. Last time, and he said that he heard raised voices, and that's everything he heard.
Yeah, regarding former Governor Toll and the question of why was he stood down, and why is he being sent back via boat across the ocean when there's a brand new teleportation circle right there.
It's
But
a very
he
big move.
the guard captain said that, like, Governor Toll hasn't been seen. Right? Like, he just hasn't been seen.
That's
Which
right.
doesn't sound great.
Just kind of disappeared a bit.
I'm just going over my notes. I wrote in big letters, what happened? And that's my notes.
Love it.
Alrighty. Crestus. Okay.
How do you
I should
proceed? Are you heading
probably-
to the library of the Coruscant Academy?
Yes.
Yes.
I say as the person least qualified to make that kind of decision.
If
With
more
the
little things to go to the library.
stride.
I want to do some research on Crestus. I don't remember where we are. Are we in a tavern?
Yes.
Yes.
We usually are.
Okay.
The
I mean,
Grumpy
that-
Swallow.
that's how all
Yeah.
D&D starts, isn't it?
In a tavern, yeah.
In a tavern.
I think last week we said that we were talking quietly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
finally gained the ability to talk quietly about important things.
It's one of those
The
things
stage
with
is
leveling up. Like, you get to level 13 and you can suddenly equip these pants. It's like, why couldn't you equip them before? I don't know, but now I can. Now we can talk
Experience.
quietly.
It's
Yeah.
like when a feat gives you a bonus language. Oh, I suddenly speak French.
Mm,
I wish it worked that way.
I suddenly whisper.
mm.
I mean, do you think we are being spied on? We're not right.
I mean,
Like, with magic, I mean.
Kova Fen is in town, and she's a fucking terrifying nightmare
No.
who wants to invade the whole country, right?
That's
So-
a good question. Where'd she go?
I mean, we were all in prison, so
Yeah,
She was not.
but she's gone somewhere, and I feel like probably we should figure out where she is, because I don't imagine she's
don't-
just
I don't feel great with her being around.
yeah.
I mean, she's probably just staying here.
She's like schemy, you know?
I mean, if you want me to, I can scry on her.
We should scry on her.
That is absolutely a good use of the scrying.
Yeah.
To what end?
I don't know, see what she's up to. She
Figure
is
out where
Where
she
she
is at
untrustworthy.
least, so that
One at a
we
time?
don't run into her. Because that
Well,
would be
if I
awkward.
scry on her, I'm only going to be able to see her. It's not like I'm going to be able to be like, oh, she's at X building, you know?
Yeah, but you might be able to see what she's doing. Like, remember when we scried on Loverboy and like,
Yeah, what if she's buying
It
ice
really
cream?
snowballed.
We'll know where she is if she's doing that.
It's true. But we'll have to go somewhere more private if I'm going to scry. I'm not doing it here.
that's fine.
That makes a lot of sense.
Should we go to the same back alley as usual?
The
Obviously.
library, surely.
You do
I mean-
have private rooms in Nod's guest house.
We do,
do,
but
That's
do
what
we have a
Mojo was just
preferred
about
back
to
alley?
point out.
I think we do. I feel like we've been. Oh, you weren't there, Dagmar. We definitely went into an alleyway.
Oh, this is when you were
Yeah.
hanging out without me
Mhm.
while I was kidnapped.
we
That's
were
the one.
scrying to try and find
We were looking for you. Yes.
Oh, did you find me?
Can you
Yeah,
tell,
we
can you
did.
tell us?
Sadly, you're still lost to us.
We miss you
the-
every day, Dagmar. Truly.
I meant with the mirror.
Oh,
Yeah, we did. We saw you and we're like,
we
oh, that
did. We
doesn't
did.
look
We
good.
did.
Oh,
That's
cool.
it.
We don't,
Yes.
we don't know where's you are, but you don't look like you're having a good time. So we're like, we better step this one up.
All right, then that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should I scry? Do you want me to scry? Should we do it just to see?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it's probably
Alright.
a good idea, but not here.
Yes.
Well,
To the
yeah,
scrying
so we
alley.
pull out to the scrying alley. And Jamas, we're going to go to the scrying alley.
Okay. Um,
I mean,
no, I'm not going to make you specify which alley that is on the map. That would be silly. Let's just
If-
assume
if
you.
you
yeah.
press, I bet I can point to the alleyway.
Well, yeah, because we were near where the Fletchers are.
Mhm.
And in fact, I think we were right next to the Fletchers when we decided, hey, let's
We
actually
were.
scry.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
So there you go. We can point to it on the map.
Yep. So you're,
there.
you've
Mhm.
gone to Fletcher's alley, and
Yep.
you are. So
Yep. Yep.
Oh, I have a clarification question about Cova Fen, please.
yes.
We know she's a wizard, or is she a sorceress? Sorcery.
Sorcerite?
Do we know?
Orsi would suspect that she's a wizard,
Okay.
based
She
on.
probably doesn't have-
You didn't see her cast many spells, but you're pretty sure you saw
Mm.
her using a focus in the process.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Okay. All right, take out the silver mirror that the god of truth and justice gave it to us to spy on people with.
Okay.
Nice.
Now,
Like I said, he was trading it for a rod, and I feel like he probably made a good decision. He doesn't know we have the silly glue.
you
He
did not
doesn't.
have any items of Coverfen
Ah,
or anything
Yeah,
like
we
that.
do.
did you?
Yeah, we do.
We have them
Pull out the melted
We have
mask
them
that I've
up.
still got that belongs to Kovac, which I might reattune to. So I might disattune from the Ring of Thaumaturgy and reattune to her mask.
That's good.
And then
Rub salt
present
in
it.
the wound.
Mhm.
Yeah, perfect.
Always.
Now, I have to wonder whether an item that you've attuned to and that has been in your possession for some time now still counts as one of her possessions.
She had it stuck to her face.
It is
We
the
want it
golden mask
fair and
of Kova
square.
Fen. It's not the
Probably
golden
name
has
is
mask.
on
of
skin in
Terragant.
it.
Oh, it's actually in the title of the item? Well, there you go.
She wrote her name on it. Still
Okay.
hers.
He turned it
Fine.
around. It's like Kovafen.
Fine.
Yeah, if found, please contact Coverfen.
Okay, so that will be a -4 to her wisdom saving throw, which I am rolling now.
Do you think that inside the mask is some of her skin and or hair stuck in it?
I mean, not anymore.
I reckon some of her skin
Just
could
wondering.
still be on it, like melted into it.
Gross.
I would have cleaned at least most of that out.
Okay,
I mean, it's still
because
could,
that's
like,
a
be-
-10 to her roll if we can get
It
one of her body parts.
Doesn't matter.
could
She
be.
doesn't. She doesn't succeed on her wisdom save. Even, in fact, I don't think she would. No, even without the penalty, she would not have saved.
Wow.
She rolled poorly.
Wizards ain't got good wisdom.
Well,
That's what I
she
was
does,
asking.
but not good enough, it seems.
Oh! Haha.
Nice.
So
Suck it.
you're looking into the sylvan mirror.
Miwa.
And once again cracks form, and the glass appears to fall in, turning it into a window through which you see Covafen, and only Covafen. She is not wearing her mask. She is not disguised at the moment, that you can see. And
PJs?
she is...
Sevna.
You
Luxurious
guess
part.
from the lighting that she's indoors somewhere.
Yes.
And she is sitting in a pensive pose, sort of like this, like she's listening.
Okay.
And then she says something. Does scrying let you hear?
Lover
Help with
boy.
that.
Send her a message and be like, yo, yeah.
Yes, you can hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hit me. I'm taking notes.
I'm just checking
That's
a few
it.
details. Yeah.
I love that. She knows she's on camera.
Yeah. And yeah, so
Oh, because
she's-
True Sight.
she says to an unseen
Ah, shit.
figure nearby, if that's the case, then it might be best to just remove them. And you hear a muffled response. Give me a perception check, only Orsi,
Okay.
to see whether
Oh, no.
you can hear who
I'm a
she's...
wizard with low wisdom. Oh, really good though. 24.
Okay.
Hey.
Nice.
You hear a woman's voice respond.
A woman. Okay.
And with the 24, you will recognize the woman's voice. It is the princess.
Oh, it's the princess.
And she says, you hear her say, but how would I do that? Wouldn't they... What if somebody suspects? And to which Covafen responds, you're the princess. Nobody should care. Nobody will suspect you, and even if they do, what will they do about it? What could they do about it? This place is yours by right. Don't let anyone try to take that from you or argue otherwise.
Teddy on Jafar.
How long does
Yeah.
this go for? 10 minutes. Are you going
10
to-
minutes.
Yeah, you're going to concentrate as long as you can?
Oh my god, yeah, everyone gather round.
I'm not just
My
going.
soaps are on.
So I'm not going to spend 10 minutes just talking to myself.
No, I won't make you monologue.
You can
10 minutes.
summarize.
The
Give me the
So
cliff
much
notes.
dialogue.
conversation goes on. You get the sense that they are still trying to be careful about who might hear them speaking. So they're not mentioning a lot of names or specifics. But it sounds like there is someone they do not trust, or specifically that the princess does not trust. And Cova Fen is basically basically advising the princess to clean house. You know, if you do not trust the people in this building, in this palace, it is your home. You should fill it with only people who you trust. And Cova Fen, definitely the emphasis of her, everything she's saying is very much, you know, the princess deserves what's coming to her. The princess has been mistreated, has been ignored, has been cast aside by the royal family, and she deserves, you know, for a change, for once, she deserves to actually have, you know, a good life, you know, to get, you know, what's owed her at this point. And Cova Fen is here to help.
Interesting.
Ben is here to help. Here to help.
And after about 10 minutes, the mirror frosts over and returns to just a mirror.
Oh, did you all hear all of that?
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, that kind of sounds like it's the real princess, but she's being like, what do they call it? Like
Manipulated?
gaslit?
That's not gaslighting.
Something.
It's been manipulated by Cova Fen.
Being
But it
built
seems
off.
to run deeper than that.
At
Yeah.
first, I thought she knew that we was watching, but then it sort of changed into they was just talking about other stuff.
Or she
Yeah,
wasn't
I-
wearing her mask, so...
I totally thought they were talking about killing us to start with, and I was very concerned. But now it sounds like they're talking about killing other people, which is less concerning, but also bad.
I mean, if it's gonna be anyone, it's probably the guard, right? The guard captain had their suspicions.
Oh, yeah.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
We should
How would
probably...
we? Yeah.
Did we ever get the guard captain's name, by the way? We
No,
did,
you did
right?
not.
We did. We knew
Oh, we
never
didn't
asked.
did
ask
not.
again. Ah, we always forget to ask.
I have
And
it
I'm
written.
banned from the palace.
I have it written down here and everything, and you never asked.
We never
It's
ask.
just not when you're getting
You call him-
interrogated. It's like, hi, what's your name?
You call him Sir at that
Yeah.
point.
We probably should, because we're looking up info for him. Like, we probably should have asked who we should, like, bring him back to.
All right, it's all right, it's all right. Look. I'm sure
We're going to get
names and
arrested again.
Anyone that
Matter of
know though,
public
like
record.
even if we asked Nod, we'd be like, "Hey, what's the name of the captain of the guard?"
Oh, that's a good
oh, that's
point.
yeah. But then it's gonna be like we're asking around, and then we're gonna get even more caught up in it if something comes
should
out. Like,
Just get arrested. It's getting kind of fun.
Oh,
or
maybe
we can probably look up something in the library because this sort of stuff should be public record.
It wouldn't be that weird for us to ask someone what his name is. What if we was down at the pub and arguing about what his name is, and we couldn't remember, so we just got to ask someone who might know.
That's
Oh my
actually
god, you
really
are the
clever.
least. You are both incredibly threatening visually, but also the nicest one. So if you were to do it, I'm sure it would work out
I
great.
don't think that anyone would be super suspicious if we just wanted to know what the fella's name was.
That's true.
I think it's very suspicious.
I think you're very suspicious.
Exactly why I shouldn't be the one to do it.
There you go.
You're the one who's banned. It sounds like you want to file a complaint. Although, that could also work.
I can just imagine that. But who would you
Whom?
file it to? You'd have to file it like to him.
I was banned from the
Probably.
palace
Speak to
by
the
the
guard
princess.
Yeah. Oh, true. Scratch
Who am I
that.
filing the complaint to about?
God's plan is better. I'm sorry.
What's the...
Surely Captain Rowe knows.
Who?
And surely we could talk to Captain Rowe.
The town
We
council.
could-
yeah.
We
I'm
could
the one who
certainly
arrested
visit
us.
her. She didn't arrest us, her fellas did, and then she came down and said, "What the ungodly heck is this?" And
We trust her. She above board. I didn't get a read on her.
Seems
She
fine.
got me out of my bounty
she was a
in
solid
this
sort.
town. So I'm predisposed to think she's all right.
Solid sort with too much paperwork on her desk.
I bet Fane Othman would know too if any more of you want to piss him off.
Oh yes, Dagmar, you should ask Fane.
I called him when we were in the dungeon of the palace.
How'd that go for
and
you?
He didn't respond.
Didn't respond.
Feel like it didn't require a response. I just let him know where we were, just in case he needed to.
He probably knew it was fine.
Yeah. It was just a heads up. Like a hi,
Okay.
just want you to know we've been arrested again, don't stress. But also in
Just
case
to
we
know.
need you, we've been arrested again.
Yeah,
They may
Betty
call
loves
back.
that. Yeah, yeah. Betty's just loving having us in the victim vicinity.
His
I just
job
think he
is
should be kept
lawyer.
updated.
He can't be that upset that people need a lawyer in this town. Like,
It's true.
I think it's less the general upset that people need a lawyer and more that specifically that it's us.
I mean, we've only needed him once so
we've
far.
made him so much money since we've been here.
More than
I mean,
once.
well, we're not the
we
ones
had, we
paying
had
him,
him
I
at the
suppose.
guard's house,
No,
but then
but-
we also pulled him in to say hello when we was up in them hills. And then...
Dagmar's tried to speak to him at least twice now.
yeah.
right,
I
that one was
succeeded
so
once.
Mm.
To clarify, you're all having this conversation in
In the alleyway.
alleyway.
Yes.
Um,
I'm
As
sure
you're-
this doesn't
I'm
look
guessing it's
suspicious.
louder than it was in
as you're
People
having this
walking-
conversation, passive perception, of course, Vatericus is going to notice.
Mine's quite high also, I think.
What is yours, Dagmar?
I think mine's like 12.
Dramatic pause. No, I
16.
don't want to rate my experience with D&D Beyond.
17 for Dagmar. That's pretty high.
I thought it was higher, but okay.
Yeah.
Doug's
that's-
is
that-
like 20, 30 at this
21.
point.
Yeah. But I mean, this person is not really trying to hide anyway. So Dagmar, you and Vatericus both glance at the end of the alley. You are being watched by a high elf with a beard.
Oh,
Hey, buddy.
shit.
Well,
I'm just gonna go. We don't need to call him. Hi.
Right, who are you
Um,
waving at?
Faye
How's it going?
Northwind. Faye
Our
Northwind
friend is right up there. What do we
walks-
call you here,
so,
friendo?
Faye Northwind walks towards the group of you
He puts the mirror behind his back.
and says, please, while we're here, just call me Fethweir.
Fethweir.
Weird.
That rolls off the tongue.
Beth Weir. I think I had a cousin who was nicknamed that, but it wasn't because his name was Fane Offwin.
Was your cousin an elf?
I
It's a
need
very
to hear that
elven name.
story sometime.
There's a word in Goblinoid that. Anyway, it's rude, and I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, God.
He says, I happened to be walking past when I heard my name spoken multiple times, and
In a nice way.
I'm
Sorry.
do not plan on making a habit of appearing when summoned, so to speak. But since I am here,
Were you
This-
literally walking past? That is such a wild
I
coincidence.
was literally walking past. Yes,
It's
I
free.
have legs which I need to use on a daily basis, and
I mean,
do.
it's a big city, and this is a very specific alleyway.
Yes, and
Synchronicity.
nobody else would have known that their name was being spoken as they walked past, except that I hear whenever anybody speaks my name, and you were just there.
I just don't think you should have told Vatericus that.
Perhaps I shouldn't, but
Grins ear to ear.
I mean, we weren't doing anything nefarious, so in the alleyway.
We were just discussing a major problem that the city seems to be facing.
Truth finding that we need to do, as it were.
Very appropriate use of the mirror.
Literally, though, this city and the princess is being infiltrated by a Tarthian.
Dagmar,
scary
perhaps
magic
not in
queen.
public. Perhaps
We were
not in.
just talking about it. We were
Quietly.
literally just talking about it
We were
here.
literally talking about it quietly.
There are now
You can't have a conversation with a man down the alleyway with it.
a couple
He
of
has walked toward us at this point.
passers by down at the street have now sort of glanced at the crowd of people yelling at each other down the alleyway.
It's great. It's going great.
I'm going to cast Nirik's Major Spectacle. And just
Alright.
create like a false end to Scryer's Alley.
Oh,
It looks a little bit oil painting-y, but it's there.
oh my god, it's the like blow up this wall bomb from a video game.
Yep.
Or like if the Roadrunner
It's
comes
really
along,
cute. Yeah.
you're legit the Wile E. Coyote.
Boom.
Yeah.
Fenolf
That's not
Anyway.
obvious.
turns and looks at the false wall that's appeared behind him and says, "Oh, I say,
Really?
I've not seen that one before."
It's quite the artist, yes, aren't you?
No, it's good. My friend Nirik gave it, or didn't give it to me, but taught me how to do it. It's one of the spells that I learnt the hard way.
It's real fancy.
Oh, welcome to my world.
Yeah, no, thank you. I've learnt 3 spells the hard way, and that's enough.
Now,
A moment of growth for you.
friends, I wish I hadn't said that. Friends,
Yeah.
I
You're
get,
in
putting
the
it down in my
circle.
notes.
Oh,
I
Faye
get,
Northwind called us friends.
I get the impression there is something troubling you in this town. A
Yeah, just a little.
secret, a conspiracy, something that you think is a genuine threat to the
Yeah.
town and its people.
Well, we're
Yeah.
a bit worried, yeah.
In that case, can we please retire to somewhere more private to have a more detailed conversation?
Your
I quite
place
like
or
this alleyway.
ours? We've got a space at Nods, but if you've got somewhere that you prefer that's, maybe got thicker walls or whatever, then we'll follow you.
Take a bath
Perhaps
with
thick
us.
walls
That's
made
a
of-
separate house.
It is-
Sure, or perhaps a box made of lead. We
I
could sit in.
do have a place, and happily we have met in my official capacity here, so there will be fewer questions about why.
yeah, I mean,
we
you're
are
technically
engaged in
dealing with that
conversation.
whole business for me. Sort of.
Please follow me.
I mean,
Uh,
he literally is my lawyer.
He's got such exhausted dad energy, and I love it.
He, if you follow, he will
We do.
lead you.
Well,
Yeah,
Of course we do.
Lead
I
you
want to see his place.
to the
This is one of the
combined.
gods we follow.
It is combined courthouse and temple of Faye Northwind.
Lovely.
Where he leads you into what is essentially a small office. It's the kind of place where it's basically a lawyer's office for all intents and purposes. You can see that there are scrolls.
I'm
there are
picturing Harvey
books.
Birdman.
I was doing Ace Attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mhm,
aware of both these things, but don't have the visual reference for them, I'm afraid.
It's a lawyer's office.
Don't
Exactly
worry
as
about
you're
it.
describing. We're all
It's
good.
literally just a lawyer's office.
I did jury duty last year, so I'm imagining a sad, boring room of despair.
That was my experience of jury duty also. Just
Oh,
utter bleakness.
Oh, it's horrible. I had the misperception that it would be interesting. No. Anyway,
Wow,
continue.
why would you think that?
I watch too much television.
Oh,
And he leads you inside, closes the door behind you, and says, "This room is warded against scrying
I think
and
that's-
other forms of detection, so you can speak freely here. Now, please tell me what it is that is bothering you."
Dagmar
Where
tells him everything.
I was going to say,
okay.
do you want us to explain it in character or just sort of?
I was going to
black?
say, where do we start? But never mind, Dagmar has you covered.
Okay, can you please... I need a little more than everything in terms
the
of...
terrorist.
So we tell the
Explain
story.
everything.
Tell the story of
Yes, sir.
getting arrested and how he spoke to the captain of the guard, who's like, "I'm not sure the princess is legit. Something's is sus." And we can also be like, "Well, and we covert fens in the city, and that's a problem." Because
Fane also knows
obviously-
about all the covert fen stuff in Providence, right? I assume.
He was... let me think. He might not have actually been aware of that
Right.
Cova Fen was the name of one of the people responsible for it.
Okay.
We'll
We're
give
definitely going to fill him in on the.
Kovafen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dagmar will also start at the Endergon part of the party. So we'll include that, cover Morzod's death, branch into, go from meeting the captain of the guards there, then sort of loop back in around in a kind of non-linear way.
We will absolutely excitedly describe how we melted Kovafen's face off.
Yeah.
With props.
Yeah.
You can see as
And
you're doing this,
conclude with
he about 20 seconds into this exposition, he starts taking notes, not in a
excellent.
these are important details, but in a I need to remember to ask about this.
Yeah, and then we will conclude with what Kovafen did to get us arrested, what the guard told us, and then scrying on Kovafen and her conversation with the princess. With our theories that she is the princess, but is possibly being emotionally manipulated by
I don't know
Kovafen.
if she's being emotionally manipulated, but definitely manipulated.
It seems like there's an emotional bent. She's fulfilling a need. It's like her family have abandoned her, and this bastard has come in and has been like, I'll be there for you. I'm here to help you.
And did you see that princess? Clearly they had a reason. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
I like her.
he is, at the end of all this, he is going to say, well, as much as it pains me to say it, I'm glad I spoke to you today.
This is
you-
why I
that
told
hurts.
you when we were
You
in the
have-
dungeon.
We don't
Okay,
do
it's my
that very
feelings.
often, so that's nice.
You have filled me in on a few pieces of a puzzle that has been puzzling me. So,
He's already onto it.
I recently have been sensing at the risk of sounding melodramatic, a dark presence in this town. Engadon's appearance would certainly explain that.
When did you start feeling this?
It's hard to
Recently?
say. It is recent. It's very hard to say. It
Okay.
is
Okay.
something that certainly became more pronounced the night of the masquerade ball, which I did not attend because I have been forbidden from entering the palace.
Oh, you got that too!
Wow.
And,
What did you
do?
and I must say, I do not know why. I can imagine
Oh,
why.
interesting.
I can speculate, but it would
Well,
be perhaps unkind to do so.
Yes, Matericus, you have your hand
Question.
up.
Banned by the governor or banned by the princess or her attendants?
By her majordomo, Crastus, I believe is his name.
Oh, Crassus.
So there's
Yes,
something up with that
makes
kid.
sense.
Yeah.
All I got the impression that the princess or Crastus himself has something against the worship of Fane Othwin. And seeing
I'm guessing it's the truth part.
And
It
seeing
definitely
me
sounds like
as-
there's a secret they're trying to hide.
Well, I did not think much of it at the time, as many... I will admit that some dreadful things have been done in my name falsely over the centuries. And whereas once I was the god of justice, justice is frequently misused and abused and used as a tool for oppression.
That's rough.
And
Is that why you're a lawyer?
I can understand, well, he does laugh and he says, when I was a god in the celestial planes, looking down on this world, justice seemed a simple, straightforward concept to me. Now that I'm here, these past 50 to 60 years, I'll admit that I've become quite uncertain about what justice actually looks like. However,
Tricky.
I believe I know injustice when I see it. And this is why I have become a lawyer who identifies the innocent and fights for them.
Lovely.
It's probably kind of the most reassuring way to be a lawyer, that you actually know that they's innocent.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Hey,
It is a privilege that few enjoy. I understand. And it is perhaps not much that I do, but I hope it is something.
Question for you, Fane. Sorry, Fethwit. No.
Fethwia?
See, that's even worse when you say Fethwit, because that's...
I thought it was, yes. I passed through the Goblinoid tribes one time, and it's... Anyway,
Right,
sorry. Fethwia. What do you like with daylight powers?
Again with
Because
this.
you're the god of sunshine and rainbows and all that shit.
And he says, I am the god of the sun.
Yeah, there we go. That's the one. See?
You have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, first the drift globe, now sunshine. What?
I mean, it's just a lot of, like, subcategories.
Is this because you can't see in the dark, Vatericus? It is very unfortunate.
Feth, me old mate, I guess that means that you can't, or that you can just summon daylight at will.
Mozart is trying not to giggle like a 12-year-old every time Biddy says Feth, but he's struggling.
He says, not at will, but I can draw from the power of the sun to funnel it or chamber it into an area.
Like a daylight spell?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
much like that.
Well, why don't you just learn the daylight spell then, Vatericus? If you're so worried about the dark.
Because I have the drift globe, it's fine.
Is that... That's not sunlight, though, is it? That's just light.
Plus, I have the rapier. If I really need something to cast significant light, it catches a flame if I need it to.
Okay.
And he says,
Worried about you.
Vatericus, you must remember who you are speaking to.
Horsey?
He sighs and says, I
didn't do anything wrong.
I can tell that there is another reason for you asking about the power of the sun. What is it?
I mean, even I can tell that he's thinking something.
Yes. So, nobody freak out.
Okay.
I feel
Princess
like that.
Imrano Ras is a vampire.
What?
What?
Oh, okay. And what basis do you have for this specific accusation?
She ate the fox guy.
She ate the fox guy.
Yeah.
Do you have proof of that, Vatericus?
Well, ooh.
I want to believe you because I don't like her. But you can't just go around calling people
I
vampires.
really like her, and this potentially makes me like her even more. But that's fine.
What is happening?
A vampire is even real.
Surely.
I thought they were just in, like, the books that my sister used to read, and oh my god, she read like 50 of them.
Oh my god, if vampires were around, they would certainly hang around in dwarven holds. There's no sunshine there.
Oh yeah, that'd be really good. Actually. Anyway, so
Actually,
okay.
a really big market for dwarven vampire romances. Just so you know.
During the ball, she
love
looked
to
really
check
sick. She went off to have a tumble in the hay with the fox boy, and came back looking really full of vim and vigor.
I mean,
doesn't it just mean they had a successful time?
That doesn't sound too crazy.
Possibly, but I did also, during our interrogation, test the waters a little bit with Crastus.
Crastus.
That's the one.
Hate him. Hate
He
him
was
so
a
much.
little twitchy when I mentioned vampiric stuff.
Interesting.
I didn't see how well the fox fellow was doing. He just didn't look like he was having a nice time, but I assume that because he was in a dungeon, but he could have been hurt.
Did she have fangs? Did anyone see her teeth?
I wasn't looking at her teeth. I was more worried about getting my head cut off.
I didn't get close to her.
Which makes me wonder if perhaps Governor Toll has been eaten.
Oh, the god captain did say.
That's a problem if nobody's seen him since.
Mm-hmm.
How do we test?
And it would make sense if she did ban a cleric of the god of the sun,
Of light and sunshine and
the truth.
know,
and winkling out.
yeah, I
deep
mean that
secrets.
too, but I mean that's just an added bonus, right? We're mainly getting rid of the sunlight.
So she's a vampire.
That's
Allegedly.
That's
Allegedly.
a lot. That's a lot of points, though.
I don't want to be rude, but she's not hot enough to be a vampire, right? Like,
She's
you're all
not my
supposed to be
cup
really
of tea. No.
sexy.
Also, do you know what? When she was speaking to me, do you know what she said to me? I mean, you were all there, but she said,
I don't
young
remember.
elf. She's like 19 years old, or whatever.
Oh.
I'm older than her. I get that
Mm.
I'm young for an elf, but I'm like twice her age. Do you think she's like 1,000 years old or something?
Also,
Well,
What?
vampires
What?
they do live a long time, don't
this
they?
was
But if she's a princess, she was 19.
well, Vatericus, you would probably notice this. You know, she is supposedly 19. She looks 15, 16.
Mhm.
Oh, even younger.
Yes, she looks quite young.
She
was-
looks 15 and she took the Foxman off for a kitten caboodle?
Yeah,
Well, she just ate him, then she didn't take him off for a kitten caboodle. No, she ate him.
Yeah, but now the fox
Possibly
is like
both.
a total fucking creep, right?
She's 19, so...
How old was he?
Look, man, I don't know with humans, alright? It's not my problem.
He looked old.
He was
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like a
probably
fox.
in his mid to late 30s. So even if she
Oh
is,
my god,
even if
basically
she didn't
dead
look-
for a human.
even if she looked 19, it would still be a bit creepy.
Oh my god,
Creepy.
Terex, I'm so sorry. You're gonna die soon. We gotta sort this out.
There you go. So apparently we're on the clock here, Fane. So
Oh, wait, no, we're in
what are your
private. You can
thoughts?
contact.
He says, "My thoughts are wild and somewhat alarming. Your theory
Does
would,
that mean?
your theory would
No, go
explain
on.
a great many things, including why it has been getting progressively cold around here since her arrival in town.
I thought that was just the changing of the seasons. Is it not?
that'd explain. Like the guard did think that he wasn't who she was supposed to be.
It is,
Oh, why was he? What's the name of the guard captain?
Oh, Morzord, good point, Morzord.
he says, Captain Tern, Captain Illadar Tern.
Thank you. We forgot to
Illadar.
ask.
We'll write that down.
I'm writing it down. Give me a moment.
That's real convenient, because in that kind of bird says all his errands here, and he's a turn, and it's like having a captain
Oh,
seagull.
ERN. Oh, my mistake.
Yes,
Like an Arctic tern.
Tern.
Oh, my, okay, yeah.
And I just came up with the title for this episode. One good turn.
Eh.
Pretty good.
And Fate Northman is going to continue to say, we must not allow a vampire to make its lair in this city. The long-term consequences could be disastrous.
Hey, people
Okay,
could
so
start writing novels
vampires-
about it.
Vampires are real, then.
And he gives Ursi a very grave
Ursi.
look and says,
Ursi.
Ursi.
Can you bear it?
Ursi. He gives Ursi a very stern look.
I feel like I'm being made fun of.
And
By the
says,
fourth wall.
vampires are very real. They're almost hunted to extinction before the cataclysm.
Oh.
Little is known of what has happened to them since then. It appears that I had hoped that perhaps none had survived the cataclysm, but
Missed one.
I had
Evidently.
hoped too strongly, perhaps.
Well, I mean, that leads to many more questions, too. I mean, if she is a vampire, is she a young vampire, or has she been around pre-cataclysm? What does that mean for the rest of the royal family? I've never met them. Are they all vampires? The entire royal family vampires?
That seems like it's a bad thing.
He
How
says,
did what's her tits with the face find out as well?
I don't know if she knows.
It would also explain why she has always been hidden from the public, moved from one palace to another.
Exactly.
Under cover of night.
The royal family is embarrassed or scared.
No,
So
they're
they
secrets.
stitched her up here.
What if she's the oldest of them all?
What if they've passed her down from generation to generation?
It would be kind of hard to explain a queen that never grows older. So they'd have to say, "Oh yeah, this is our daughter." That's weird. That is so weird. What if her mum's not really a mum?
A cataclysm
Mum is like her great grand niece.
or something.
That's so.
I mean, there has to be written works on vampires, and not just a fantastical sense. There has to be information on them.
Okay, I need to fix shit with my family so I can tell all of this to my sister. Just side note.
Well,
She
if you ever want to send your
fucking loves
message, if you ever want to send your sister a message, I'm happy to do it.
Oh my god.
Be fantastic. Hey sis, guess what? Vampires is real.
Yeah.
So Fane Lothwin will volunteer some information about vampires.
I'm taking notes.
Based on the fact that he is sort of, again, as a god of the sun and of goodness and things like that.
Right.
He is
His
very
paladins must have been vampire hunters.
Yeah, very much
vampire
that.
hunting.
Sick.
Right?
Long history of being
Sick.
anti-vampire.
Cool.
Love that.
Love vampire hunters.
So he will explain that, yes, vampires can potentially live forever, so there's no way of knowing how old she is. That they are kind of shadows of their former selves, that, and they tend to take the personality, the vices, the lusts, the hunger, and amplify those, and they become stronger and stronger over time. Vampires
She's
tend,
not a Nosferatu because she's pretty.
vampires tend to have less and less regard for life and for the wants and needs of others, and become entirely hedonistic as time goes on, and will very gladly collapse the civilization around them if that's what it takes to sustain their own hunger.
Word.
And
They are not long-term planners.
what else? I'm just going through a very extensive list of details that are good to know about vampires.
Oh, don't give us everything.
Skin of a killer, etc.
Yes, he will explain that when a vampire makes its lair, there tends to be a change in the surroundings, including
More wolves.
cold. Making it cold is a potential side effect. And also
Children of the night.
Fog.
they are difficult to kill.
No kidding.
But they are harmed by running water.
Mm-hmm.
Like naturally running water, or like if I throw a bucket at her and that's technically in motion.
He
I
will say
believe
that
it classically refers to streams.
he
and
believes a bucket of water would be insufficient.
That's a shame.
Then you
a-
would simply have a wet, angry vampire.
Yeah, she probably wouldn't enjoy it.
It'd be fun.
He also explains that
Kind of funny, yeah.
a stake to the heart does not kill a vampire, but it will paralyze it as long as the vampire is resting in its place of its sanctuary. And most vampires, that'll be either a coffin or they'll actually sleep in a bit of soil wherever they taken from wherever they were originally buried after their original death.
It's a lot of conditions.
They are very sensitive to sunlight, and cannot even abide standing in it. And if you were to slay a vampire in sunlight, while it is in sunlight, then that will permanently destroy the vampire. That is Fane Lothwin's lore dump.
So we need
Hmm.
sun and some wood.
Well,
What counts as a stake through the heart? Does it have to be a very specific kind of wood, or can I snap the head off one of my arrows and just...
hopefully it doesn't have to be like a U stake or something.
He says, and I'm stealing this from classic Doctor Who. He says, the main thing is that the heart needs to be destroyed. It can't just be a simple, prick with the end of a blade or something like that. The stake needs to almost completely destroy the cardiovascular,
You gotta mash it.
the muscle of the heart. So it needs to be broad.
Can
So
you like
it's a steak.
multiple
Like
toppings?
a big chunk.
Mm-hmm.
Big steak. Well, I don't know if we want you specifically, Dagmar, to be getting up in there with the blunt head of an arrow broken in half. And
I mean, if you want to mash the heart, that's a lot of. It's a lot of stabbing.
You could just use a steak.
I mean, even though you gotta do several. Anyway,
Steaks are pretty big. I don't know anything about human physiology, right?
The rules-
it depends on the steak. I mean,
The D&D
there
rules
is
are
no, there is.
a piercing weapon made of wood, driven into the heart, is good enough.
There is no standard metric for a steak.
I
You
mean,
have a
there
little
probably
steak,
I've
Yeah.
never
is.
staked anybody
You've
before.
got
Anyway,
one that's like, if she's growing
Standard
tomatoes,
architecture.
then you don't need to have a really big one, but...
look,
But if
I
you're making
have
the foundations for a deck, say, your steak's going to be pretty fucking big.
Yeah, a steak or a post.
Oh yeah, no, there is a fine line.
You definitely
Okay.
wreck her if you put a post through her.
okay.
I'm searching for steaks at Bunnings, and they're pretty big.
Would a post count as a steak?
Is there
I
Bunnings
reckon
in this?
so, if
Is
you-
there a Bunnings in Heron's Perch?
Ye Bunnings.
There are
ye old
woodworkers and
Bunnings.
timber
Ye
suppliers and
Oh
so
my
forth.
God.
Spitballing. If we
Is
found
one
a
of
way
them
to
called
like,
Bunnings?
Actually, hang
Bunnings
on.
and Sons.
There's a lumber yard at number 22 on the map.
Oh, there you go. There is a
Staffed
There's a
entirely
rabbit
by...
folk. Bunnings.
I was gonna say staffed entirely by Vera. Big ladies.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, everyone
walk
take a
off,
moment.
scissor.
Just Fran.
We're all thinking of the
anyway.
giant woman song from Steven Universe.
Steak.
Hey, Morzod,
What?
do you still have that that shield that is magnetic?
Oh, I still got it, yeah.
Wonderful. Hey, Fane, what happens if we take the heart out of a vampire without actually destroying it?
Why
I was
do you
going to
want
ask,
keep
except then I
vampires
was going to
hard?
be like, we
Are
should
you
mash it up
trying to
with wood.
imply that vampires is magnetic?
No,
Some sort of death magnetic.
no, but a
I
thought
guess
occurred to
everything's
me, and
attracted to
if we
something, but like...
do it right, then we might be in with a shot of ending this fight reasonably quickly.
He says,
Wha-
I honestly do not know. I do not think the vampire would like it.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
fair.
I think I
Iron
know
is in
what
their
he's
bodies.
talking about. If he's got me standing on one side with that, and you're standing behind her with like the silver platter or something, and there's is silver magnetic? I don't even know.
No, silver isn't.
But like, she'd have to be like structurally unsound enough for it to go through. So I don't know if he's that strong.
Aren't vampires turned to mist or something ridiculous like that?
Oh, is that
In
a
the
thing?
books, it's dust. They go very dusty. And in one, it was like red rose petals, but that was not super plausible.
Oh, I think I saw that one.
Van Northern reminds you
That was
that
very good.
the stake must be applied while the vampire is in its resting state.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we're getting too
Like-
creative when we don't need to be, I feel.
Well, okay.
Also, we are talking about killing a member of the royal family. I would like to point that out really quick. We've all kind of skimmed over that.
Sorry, yeah, by the way,
Yeah,
Fane
you're
Northern
not
is
even
picking
allowed
up,
in the palace.
probably picking up that Vatericus is actually not entirely in on this plan. He's just sort of floating ideas. He's not actually super keen on killing her.
That's an idea generator he is.
He's kind of into that.
I assume
develop
Cassia is still with
personality
us,
things.
being very quiet.
Yeah,
Cass,
sure.
you look like a vampire, right? Cass looks like a vampire. Don't you think?
Actually, Cass looks more like a vampire than the princess does because, excuse my saying so, but Cass, you're really very gorgeous.
He's been stuck in a boat's cabin for how long? Of course he's going to look pale and what?
I mean, he always looks like that.
Also, he's
Oh,
an
as well.
albino.
Yeah,
Mozart might not have picked up on that. I
he doesn't know.
Just like, oh, the poor lad's peaky.
Yeah, he just got so washed out while he was staying inside the boat.
It's like when the guard captain thought you were sick, Morzor, because you were green.
Oh, look, I get that a lot, especially because, like,
Do
half the
you?
time I'm actually throwing up in the gutters when they're looking at me. And they're like, is he always like that? And they're like, yeah, he is, don't worry about it.
I think
I'm
that's
just thinking
based
'cause
less
you're a
on your
half-orc.
skin color and more because
Yeah.
you're vomiting.
So, yeah. We'll have to circle back to that one. But yeah, what do we have this information now. Now what? I need to go. I need to go to the library. I don't want to.
I think it is one of those bits where you start reading about stuff. I'll get less useful when this sort of thing's happening, but it certainly seems
Look,
like.
right? She's a member of the royal family. There has to be public records of like something. How far back going, or where has she been? What places? When was the first record of a young 19-year-old royal family member?
Does every generation have a pill of a daughter?
Exactly. Has to be something.
Fanny Northwind says, I'm afraid I personally have taken very little interest in the royal family or its history. I cannot help you there.
There will be books, though.
I hate that I know who can help us. Suppose we have to go to the library.
Who is a total freak for the royal family? Just,
I'm
asking.
talking about my dad. He knows about this stuff.
My God, your dad loves the royals.
He doesn't love
he
the
knows the
royals.
royals.
He's
Okay.
noble. He serves them.
How old is your dad? Because
He's
he
like
might just be out of
100.
You can't just ask an elf that. That's weird.
Yeah, that's
It's
like
not
how many
weird.
generations of a royal family? That's like 12 or 5. I don't know.
I
It's
don't
one of
know.
those. It's between this.
He's really not that old for an elf. He's like 130, 142 or something. I don't know.
He really carries himself with the air of a 500-year-old.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Mm.
All right, well.
Let's go see Daddy.
Well, do we have anything else we need to do here with Fane Othwin, the god of truth and justice and sunlight?
Yes. One quick question before we go. How do I kill you?
Not you
Fergus,
specifically.
why do you keep asking how to kill gods?
You need to phrase things better sometimes.
Fane Othwin says, can understand. I think I'd rather not answer that. And I'd very much like to know why you are asking.
Well, okay, but like, if you don't answer, I'm just going to go and talk to Ash Ruith or someone like that. So, how do I kill a god?
A god, not you specifically, Fane Othwin.
A different god.
A different god.
Possibly the one that keeps trying to kill us.
He says,
You don't like her either.
you're
No one
talking
does.
about slaying Engadon, I assume.
A little bit.
Potentially. See how the day goes.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have a backup.
Do you have to? Yeah, do you have
She
to like
really
kill
does keep coming at us.
the Titan? I don't want to fight an undead dragon that's been cobbled together from 1,000 different corpses right now.
That would be a lot.
Viterikas, give me a persuasion check, please. Why am I
He
asking?
recognizes the belt.
Did gods have any sort of resistance against the belt, DM?
God.
26.
No one's safe.
It's a really good belt, okay?
A really nice belt.
You see Fane Othwin's eyes flick down to the belt.
Not even
Nice
Fane
belt. It's a
Othwin.
nice belt, man.
Yeah,
He's the god of truth. He's not lying.
yeah.
He's got a great belt.
dropping them facts.
He goes silent for
And
what feels like
looks
a
at the belt.
very long time as he seems to almost retreat into himself.
Hands on hips, staring contest with the belt.
Yeah.
He seems deeply troubled and finally says, I loathe the idea of one of my kin having survived everything that brought us here, only to be brought down. But
I mean, if you could also just get her to kindly leave us alone, that'd be fine. But I don't suspect
yes.
that she's going to
he
do that.
smiles and says,
That would
"Oh,
be easier and better.
would that I could.
Right.
I do not think that person will listen to anyone.
She seems pretty
especially
determined.
Not me.
Yeah.
To answer your question, I must tell you a secret. And I must beg you not to spread
I
this.
killed Mufasa.
I must beg you
God.
not to spread this knowledge, because if it were widely known, it could change the world for the worse.
That'd be kind of awkward.
Okay.
We gods, the personas of the gods, myself that you are speaking to today, Engadon, the woman that plagues you, Desmina, and so on. We are mortal in this form.
Well, yeah.
We can be slain just like any other being. It will take some
Hang
doing.
on, sorry. Just as a Morzor, sorry, what? What do you mean? Oh yeah.
Well,
He just told a god to zip it.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a little bit more interested in why Morzor isn't like ground shattered surprised at the thought of gods being mortal.
Well, because there's people now.
Was that obvious? Because I missed it. I totally
mean,
missed it. I missed everything, but I missed that specifically.
They can get hangovers and everything.
From
did
Brian.
Did Bruinlock tell you this?
Well, we was talking about how much it sucks.
Oh
to
my
get...
god.
Fainothan rolls his eyes and says, he swore, and I should have known. Oh, well.
We was talking about how much it sucks to have a headache on the morning after, because it really does. I mean, it's like, you know, if a conversation, it's a couple of drinks, we were sitting on a roof, it was raining.
If nothing else, that is an example of how trustworthy we are to tell about this shit.
Sorry, I thought you all were across that.
Oh,
I mean,
everyone knew that gods
I've
were
been
mortal.
drunk with your god, but he's not told me any earth-shattering secrets, which is fine. I prefer it, really.
He says,
Okay, well, great. Okay.
Speaking of
Please continue,
Bruinlock, did I detect his presence recently? I mean,
Yeah, he revived Morzod.
Besides
he was at the party.
Besides your... Oh,
did we skip that part? Oh, right, the bear revived Morzod. The bear was Bruinlock.
Well, I mean, it was a big party. Of course he's going to show up for it. That's
crosses
holy
out one of his
is.
notes that says, wait, a bear, is what he wrote.
Bear?
Wait, a bear, question mark.
I mean, that's worth writing down as I'm going to have to ask them about this. What the actual... Yeah.
The list of questions is just a scroll.
Many of them annotated with WTF. WTF.
And he says, I understand what you might think you need to do. Nothing I can say will be helpful to you, I'm afraid. I could not bear to help you in this venture. It would break my heart more than you can imagine.
That's fair. I mean, asking you to kill your sister is like... I mean, if someone asked you to... Well, actually, Dags, that's probably a bad example if someone asked you to kill one of your family members or something, but...
Like 90% of them, I wouldn't even blink.
Yeah,
I mean, I would. It would have to be self-defense. I'm working on my ethics. Stop asking me questions like that.
Right,
So-
sorry.
Yeah, don't bring that up. Yeah.
Fane, let me give you a promise. And if, given that Fane sort of reads lies anyway, he will pick this up as entirely genuine. I will give her every opportunity to back off, to go and live her life as she chooses. But if she threatens us again, we will end her.
Try.
And
The bold of you.
Super well last time.
Yeah.
he says, I can tell it's not just you that you fear for, Vetericus.
Not even remotely.
He says,
I mean, she
Very
killed
well.
Morzor, so...
Straight up
Actually
killed
dead.
him. Didn't even blink.
I trust
I
you.
assume I was looking at Morzod when it happened.
I trust you to do what is necessary under the circumstances.
It's not like we'd mess around with her or anything. Like, we'd just be like, no, sorry.
I personally will do everything I can to avoid encountering her ever again.
He says, that
Is
has
there
been-
like a nice anti... Is
has
there like
been-
an anti-god...
Necklace, charm, amulet.
saying, I believe it is possible to commission or to find anti-scrying charms.
Yeah.
I do
I
not
mean, we
have
got
any.
that warding and stuff that that Azab put on the
That
common
Fane put up.
grounds, but
And he had,
Yeah, but
and
we're not there.
that
no,
I've,
Azab had the other stuff as well, though, that he was bringing in.
Yeah.
We
That's
need them
true.
on our persons.
Do we?
Yes.
Orsi, you've probably heard of, portable anti-scrying amulets are
I
a
was
thing.
definitely going for specifically anti-god, but anti-scry is good enough.
I would like God repellent, please. No offense.
Bat god repellent.
And
I like you. I like all
anti-god is
the
a
other
bit more
ones.
complicated. Because for one thing, it's not necessarily anti-good or anti-radiant, because it really depends on the god as to...
Mhm.
Oh, what if we just got anti-evil and our lives just became very calm?
Not gonna
We'll see
find
just
that.
motions to Morzord.
There's your anti-evil.
Oh, he's right there, Dagmar. Jeez.
Oh, is this a... Oh, this
Morzord,
is
can you still do that, by the way? I don't know, your power
Well-
seems to have changed. Can you still do the whole detect good and evil thing?
So that was an awkward thing that I haven't quite told you guys yet, but I sort of told Dave. I realised that Morzod is coming out as not a cleric, which is a
me.
bit
I'm
kind of
honoured.
Wow,
weird and
right in
awkward
front of
for
us
him.
and God.
Yeah,
right in front of
exactly,
him.
exactly.
Top
but, yeah.
me with a god.
In front of your salad and everything, but he sort of already soft came out to Dax, but he hadn't come out to you guys yet.
did a lot of the work.
I've just been real thinking a lot about how I identify myself, and well, I mean, I had a talk to Bruin Locke as well about maybe that clericy stuff is sort of too reactive, and maybe I should try being more proactive and sort of more paladin-y than clericy. So I'm still brewing luck, but I'm sort of stopping people from having a bad time by getting there and preventing it, rather than waiting for them to have a bad time and then fix it.
And we're all very
preventative
proud.
measures. Oh, we love you no matter what.
Thank you. I'll appreciate that.
And Fane Othman says, "So I do not think Burnluck has ever had a paladin before, as far as I can remember. And we are talking about tens of thousands of years of history. You would...
Congratulations.
I believe you are the first. And
Well,
We always knew he was special.
Mm-hmm.
we're sort of still figuring out how to do it.
and I do hope that he might learn something from you as much as you are learning from him."
Well, I mean, he's pretty good at giving it an extra shove. You see, when I was fighting them gnolls, it was I was getting an hand with that.
You were really good in that fight.
I was
Kill the dragon.
really
Yeah.
really eating stuff. But yeah, so that's I guess that's a thing that I've been trying to think of how I would tell you guys.
We love it. We love you.
Well,
Thank you for trusting us with the information, Morzord.
Indeed.
I should leave you to your research. If you have need of my assistance in dealing with our vampire problem, please let me know.
If
I'll
you
call.
need
You
my
don't.
assistance, forget about
Yeah.
it.
You wouldn't happen to know how to cast daylight, would you?
Like as a
Is
concept.
that
He might not know it's a spell. He might just kind of think about it.
just that's what I'm thinking, right? You could probably just do it since you've got the sun.
I'm 99% confident he can. I just don't want to speak out of turn, so I'm just very quickly double checking.
Google.
Yes. He can
Northwood
do.
stab
And the
blocks out.
god of the sun just cast sun.
Oh, it's only 3rd level. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
easy.
God of the Sun pulls out his mobile.
Yeah,
It's just like, hang on a
he does
sec.
that just when he wakes up in the morning. Daylight. Oh, I'm up.
Oh, he's Princess Celestia from My Little Pony. Oh, I might be confusing it for Sunbeam. Hang on. This is fun while I Google spells.
Sunbeam is 6th level.
Sunbeam is what I was referring to, not daylight. Excuse me.
Oh,
You
solar
wouldn't happen
beam.
you wouldn't happen to know Sunbeam, would you?
He does, yes, he explains. Well, once you explain what the spell does, he will say, yes, I can do that.
It's only got 10 SP, though.
You couldn't write
PP.
that down, could you? Maybe teach a little wizard a little anti-vampire magic?
Let's see. Level 6 spell.
To make a
I'm an evocation
me-
wizard if it helps.
Give
I can
me
do that.
a
Money.
persuasion check with advantage, Orsi.
Ooh.
Alright. I don't have a good persuasion.
Could we add some, like, puppy dog eyes in the background from the others?
I'm right 2 and 4.
Oh no.
He doesn't
Fine.
trust you. He doesn't trust you with solar beam.
And he says, it might be better if you just call on me when you need me.
Oh, okay, so what's that supposed to mean? I am quite hurt by that.
I'll give you a shout.
It's an evocation magical spell. I'm an
Maybe-
evocation wizard.
Maybe he's worried you'll explode.
Well,
He
do
says,
you have anything to trade?
Yes.
Can you trade? Do you have another immovable rod that you can trade for?
'Cause,
Or he
like,
clings
he-
to his silver
he
mirror.
goes on to explain, well,
wizards do that, though, sometimes, don't they? Like,
Explode?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we was at the academy and everything blew up, we were like, "Whoa, is that normal?"
he says,
Or stressful.
the ability comes to me naturally because of my divine
He's
origin.
home with it.
Okay,
is
you know what? I don't want to deal with this. It's fine.
Not, he is very gently trying to explain it. I do not go through the same process that you would go
he
through
doesn't
to
know
cast
how
the
to
spell.
write it down. He
You
just
would
does
need
the
to-
thing.
May I suggest you inquire at the Coruscant Academy?
I have to learn magic, don't I?
He's like me. His magic comes more naturally. It's just sort of
Is that what you call it now,
from the
magic?
will.
What's he just going to stand there very, like, seething? His incredible dislike for innate magic casters.
Well, look, at least we're not warlocks, so you know.
Oh, you know what? It's true. It's fine. It's true. It's true.
Magic sugar cookies.
They are insufferable.
He says, so is there anything else?
I think that's it. I think we just need to do a bunch of reading. But then at the end of the day, what do we even do about it?
I mean, I guess we like.
Do you think... Oh, sorry,
Oh.
Dagmar, to interrupt. Do you think this... With Covafen and all that, do you think if this has anything to do with all their blood magic that they do you think Tarth is crawling with vampires?
That would make an awful bloody lot of sense. You've both
he
made the
says-
pun
It's
there, but
turn
like,
of the phrase there.
turn of the
Mozart,
phrase.
yeah.
But, I mean, you just said, but like, yeah, because there's all with the blood magic and the
All sorts of blood magics in that
How
country.
did we not ever draw that connection?
Well, I don't think Covafen's a vampire, but who knows? I mean, look at the Tarthians. They all wear long robes and masks. This is...
They could
I
all have
definitely-
fangs.
Oh,
I definitely designed them to be completely
dicks.
covered, and I didn't give them any boob windows, so clearly they're vampires.
I thought vampires loved boob windows.
But only at night.
Oh, yes.
Inside
Cover
with
the
curtains
faces.
drawn.
when they're having
the
their sexy
faces, long
parties in the
robes.
pool with the water
I'm
and the
sure that they eat
petals
people.
and
1000% I've heard stories of Tarthians eating people, absolutely.
when they got the gold bra on, then yeah, they got the. But
'Cause to what end? I mean, I understand getting cozy with royalty, but was she kicked out of Tarth? Why is she even here? Did we talk about that?
We did not talk about that.
yeah, that's kind of. I mean, yeah,
assume she has a plan.
we kind of thought she was a separate problem. But if she's attached to our other problem, then that's a bigger problem.
Yeah, that is worse.
Yeah, we can't just
wizard's
sunbeam her.
earned. Yeah. Well, if I can learn it.
I mean,
yeah,
you can just sunbeam
melting
her, but it doesn't work
melting
quite
her
as well.
face. Yeah, melting her face once only made her angry.
Yeah, we could just
Probably has-
fireball her.
What do you mean we? I don't know how to do that.
Fireballed people before, haven't we?
No,
Electrical
it's usually
bolt.
it's
We've been
lightning.
fireballed.
Right, it's
Yeah.
hard to keep up.
It goes
Lightning.
kazap.
Do that thing that you did to the gnolls with.
Instead of kafumph.
Yeah.
I hope that Fane Osmond is just standing there.
It's very technical because one goes fumph and one goes zap.
Fane Osmond has
I want you to
actually
zap him.
sat at his desk and is starting to look like he is trying to get back to work.
He probably has a lot of notes to sort out, though.
All right, we're going to the library. Come on, shuffle out.
All right. As we walk out, is there a little sign on his door that says Fethweir?
No, there are no.
That's a shame.
And a nameplate on his desk.
No nameplates or anything like that. People just know it's his office.
Okay, that's fine.
Gosh, do we have to start? Should we get gorgets made?
What's a gorget?
Do we need neck armor against being bitten?
You spent a whole evening with her, and she didn't bite you once. She's fine.
Yeah, but
Fane is Feth is overreacting.
I don't know if I'm offended by that.
Room full of people. She did not have a chance to bite us in the neck.
Probably didn't want to bite, but what if she crawls in our window?
I mean, she was flirting with you before she took that fox off to her room to eat him.
Because I have to be invited in.
They all had invitations.
Have we left yet? Feth!
You've left.
Too late. We're walking.
The door closed very firmly.
Yeah, and is magically sealed, right? Try to open it. It's like...
Yeah. Guard wards.
The door just disappears. It's just not there anymore.
We are walking, we're having conversation walking towards the Coruscant Academy.
Okay.
Yes.
Right,
so everyone can hear this bullshit.
Sunbeam. I'm writing down a big...
We've learned how to talk quietly. I thought we established that.
Right, that's true.
We immediately forgot it.
Yeah. Is there anyone else to tell? Oh, jeez. I have to tell Ethan that I lost that dodecahedron. I'm going to be in so much trouble again.
Does he know that you had it?
No. So I have to tell him that I had it, and then I have to tell him that I lost it.
I feel like you don't have to tell him either of those things.
Thank you.
I feel like I should.
That's got nothing to do with whether or not you will, though.
Yeah.
Literally, the
boss
of the Coruscant Academy here.
Should is the enemy of could. So
she was at the ball. She heard everything. She probably knows everything. It's gonna get back to Ethan, and then I'm gonna get yelled at.
I guess it was pretty public.
So much trouble.
Condolences. Shall we go to the library?
The academy,
you
please.
Arrive at the foot of the hill that leads up to the Coruscant Academy. So far, you've only been in the main circular building, but last time you were here using locate person to work out where Oscar was, and you detected him in the long rectangular building to the side, which is probably the library.
We did speak to the receptionist here. Did I write her name down?
I don't think I gave you a name.
Okay.
It was our fault this time.
No. Oh, wait, we should speak to we'll go to the receptionist if they are available.
Okay. She'll say, yes. Oh, hello.
Hi. I'm sorry we didn't catch your name last time.
I am...
Sorry, Dungeon Master.
5E name generator. Quick.
That's from my notes.
She wasn't even in the notes. We're generating it live.
I don't name everyone.
I name everybody. I just like her. She seems nice.
She is Winrora.
Winrora.
It sounds like Winra. I love her. Winrora.
Thank you, fantasynamegenerators.com.
It's a sick name. I like that one.
Absolutely, Winra.
Yeah, Winra. Because she works with files all day. Receptionist. I can't spell receptionist. Good enough. Right. We were looking to use the library, if that's okay.
And she says, yes, the library is open to all as long as you don't go into the restricted section. But your father would be the person to ask for permission in that case.
So we stop going into the restricted section. It's fine.
We could be Morzord. Thank you very much. make our way to the library.
Okay, and with that tense cliffhanger, we shall take a short break. And
It's going to be a heavy research session.
We will be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. And we are back, and we are rested, and our brains are mush. So, what were we doing? Yes, we're going to the library.
To the library!
In fact, you are now at the library.
To the
At the library.
So say I.
It's fair.
So say all of us.
Cass is excited. It is a library after all.
Oh, shit! Did Cass
that
come
book
with
smell.
us for all of that shit? Did he
Yeah,
get
man. We were
Cass
speaking to him. We were like, hey, you look like a
everything.
vampire.
I
Yeah.
told him he was beautiful, and he
Yeah.
did not respond.
This is classic Morzord. You're in perfect character right now. Don't lose that.
Have you been with us the whole time?
He's a little bit shorter than Aussie, so I can feel like Morzord just didn't look down past his arm or something and didn't see him.
I feel like Morzod has just mentally categorized them as the same person. Oh shit!
Yeah.
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 That gif of like Dwight and Angela from The Office.
Yeah. Literally. Morzord's thinking about some things right now.
So as you enter the library, Orsi,
Tentatively.
you can immediately see a very angry-looking owl glaring down, glowering
Is she looking at him?
at
Oh, yeah.
all of you
You
as you
did
approach.
not lie about your dad's owl.
Yeah, she's no joke. If you look at Orsi, if anyone's standing behind Orsi, they do see in like the back, just like a lump about this big.
Also, Melville is currently nowhere to be seen, you think, for similar reasons.
I mean, Glower looks like she would eat both of you. I'm sure she would.
Glower looks like she would eat me.
Yeah, I know that Glow can be a little bitey sometimes. Seriously, do not put your fingers anywhere near that demon bird.
I assume Dagmar has her hat back on, so she's going to pull it a little lower down.
Hi, Glower.
The owl just stares at you.
Oh. Well, Dad definitely knows we're here now.
Oh, good.
I mean, isn't that how people who run the library work? Like, they just always sort of know already.
I guess. I've only really been around wizards most of my life, so it's always been like, oh, familiar. The wizard knows you're here now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So you know.
Well,
yeah.
I really have to have a conversation with my dad.
As you say that, he walks around from behind one of the bookshelves and says,
Oh,
That's convenient.
Here I am.
Do you want us to be here for this, or should we?
I think you should.
Yes, sir. Immediately, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Orsi's dad.
Orsi, what
I
would you
suspect
prefer?
Dagmar and Morzod have already run away.
Yeah.
yeah, they're going in a hilarious cloud of cartoon smoke shaped like them.
They know when they're not when they shouldn't be here. Make themselves scarce.
You
They
might
were
want to not. If my
were
body
already
needs to
threatened
be
by the
recovered, I don't want you to be too far away.
And Oscar says, Don't worry. If necessary, there will not be a body to recover.
One moment then, please. I will pull the most out of place hair out of Orsi's head.
Is that what I do to Dagmar?
A little, but this is more for like resurrection purposes, so
No.
have fun.
Yours is more invasive.
Yeah,
Dagmar, get out of here! All of you, shoo!
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we made ourselves scarce, but only behind the next stack, and you can still kind of see us.
Yeah, nice.
Just eyeballs.
Oscar says,
Scooby-Doo heads.
he does sort of make a gesture to Cass, basically. You don't have to go.
Okay. Orsi's gonna walk up to his dad.
It says,
I'm going to lurk in earshot as well.
Okay.
Do you have a
we're
magic
definitely
ear?
listening.
I'm not
Oh,
going to
I
make.
wish. I almost took it, and then I didn't.
I'm not going to make Ptericus roll a perception check because what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah. What's the point in dice anymore?
You need to make him do more athletic things, yeah.
Yeah.
not.
Make him
DM.
run. Make him jump.
No, we did that. He won the tournament as well.
We need more chasms.
Give him ideas.
Oscar says to you, Orsi, so, are you here for me or are you here for the library?
Yes.
Mozo, can you stop?
Sorry.
As I said, we're definitely listening. You just can't see us.
Not very inconspicuous.
He's going to turn around and glare at them.
I'm very large.
I'm going to poke
tiny
around
arms.
behind Oscar's back and just give Orsi a thumbs up for bardic inspiration.
Oh! Both! Both.
Both is good.
Oh my god, I need you three to leave, please.
To us.
He says,
We have a book in front of our face and we are whistling.
Mozart's book is upside down.
He's like on the verge of tears. So difficult. I'm gonna cry. It's funny.
Difficulty multiplier, Mozart and
Yeah.
bags. I'm just gonna mute.
and Orsi, Oscar
Oscar's gonna mute you. Yeah.
actually casts silence
Yep.
on the area where the three of you are.
Okay, yep. Yep.
He says, well, I am here. The library is here. What is it you need?
Well, we need to look up some public records on the princess and vampires.
It is an odd combination. Are these requests related in any way?
I mean, there's really no point in lying to you, Dad. Yeah, they are.
No, seriously. Are these requests related?
Yeah, you did see I got arrested, right?
Yes. It was hard not to notice.
Yeah, well, kind of tangentially related to that, I suppose. We noticed something a little strange about the princess, and we're just doing a little bit of research on that. And
so
Darth is involved.
And so now you've decided that the princess is a vampire, assisted by the ascendancy of Tarth, because no normal person would find you annoying enough, or consider arresting you for bringing a deadly magical weapon into the presence of royalty.
Yeah, you got me on that one. In my defense, we've been through a lot, and I forgot that I was carrying it. So...
It says, well, see, I know you're not going to listen now, so I'll say this in the hope that you'll think back on it when next you walk into disaster and wonder how it happened. You are not cut out for an adventurer's life. It will destroy you. Please stop. Now, public records are over there. Information on vampires, it is mostly folklore, of course, but some may be of some practical use, is in that section over there. If you have any other needs regarding hidden... this is David trying to think of the best way to phrase this.
Restricted information.
Yeah, it's not so much restricting. You know, if there's any additional information that you're having trouble sourcing, speak to Glower. They will make sure that you are taken care of. I need to get to work.
Well, I got one more thing, Dad.
Yes.
Ossie's going to take out his little tiny book that he always writes in, and he's going to flick to the very back page, and he's going to take out a little coloured painting portrait, and he's going to hand it to Oscar. It's the colour study that I swiped from your desk when I left. Is of course a portrait of Uncle Alnir and Aunt Var.
There's... I will say you did well. You may have made and continue to make some dreadful, miscalculated mistakes. But some good has come of it.
I mean, you know, right?
Yes, I have received word. And I tried to stop you from this life, because I feared you might end up lost as they were. I still fear that. I still expect it if you carry on like this. But in this one instance, it appears you made a good choice.
Thanks.
No.
I mean, I'm not giving this up. I hope you know that. I'm going to build a floating tower. I'm going to be the Grand Wizard of the Wandering Isles.
Yes. Of course you are.
Yeah, well, you just wait and see.
He says, how long do you think I will live?
You're not that old.
No, but never mind. Back to work. He stiffly turns and returns to where you think his office probably is.
So he'll turn to see the others.
He lifts the silence spell.
Does he demute everyone?
Yep.
That mean that he's sick or something? Why would he be asking that?
I know, I think he was taking a dig at me. Ossie is crumpling slowly, like he's deflating.
Oh, buddy.
It's done good.
Cass.
That looks like it went
Cass says,
not as terribly.
Yeah, it sounds like he actually really missed you.
I mean, he's my dad. I missed him too.
Yeah,
of course I did.
I think he was like super worried about you.
Those was definitely parent worried about ear noises that he was making. I mean, they were mean, but they was. I do not need to go on a guilt trip right now, Cass.
Okay, books.
Books.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, do you need me to hold stuff?
Oh yeah, lectern.
I can do that if it makes you feel better. Also, it stops me from having to read shit.
Honestly, like pulling out your eyelashes and balancing things on you is like really de-stressing for me. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I have at least one full eye's worth of eyelashes left.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Investigation rolls from anybody who is actively going through books. Rather than just holding them.
I mean, if it has vampire written on it in large friendly letters, Mozart might be able to pick it up.
I want him to find like Twilight and.
I was gonna say, are there any vampire romance novels in this library? Because if so, that is what Dags is checking.
When Dags was talking about the novels, I almost had Mozart say, "Oh, the one with the apple on it, right?" But I was like, "No, that's a bit on the nose, isn't it?"
This is.
And that 20 on the investigation check for the wizard in the library.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow. So this is an academic library. it does not have a fiction section. Yet somehow someone has left a copy of a saucy dwarven vampire
Sunset.
romance.
Oh, it's the one with the rose petals.
It is a library. I do need to keep your voice down, though.
Sorry.
Yes, Glower is now looking hungrily at Dagmar.
Oh,
Yikes.
she will eat you. I'm serious.
Bird can and will eat you.
Oh, you still have Bardic if you want to add a D10 to that as well and push it over 30.
Oh my god, can I? I rolled an 8 plus than that 20, so it's 28. I'll do the Bardic, why not? It's a D10?
D10, because I am a good bard.
You're a good bard. Oh, that's another 6, so whatever 28 plus 6 is.
34. Nice.
34.
Wow.
That's Vitericus levels of ridiculous.
Yes. Do it.
Finally, a wizard in a library.
So you find mostly sort of Grimm's tale, fairy tale style stories about vampires.
Also looking for like public records of the princess too, like where has she been? Blah, blah, blah.
Also regarding vampires, you do find a study, an academic look at the history of vampires, comparing the folklore to historical records, trying to work out which were real vampires, which were just historical figures being blown up, not literally, but exaggerated by time, with conclusions that yes, some people there have been genuine vampires throughout history, but there were fewer of them towards the cataclysm as vampire hunting became more common. In terms of information about how to slay or fight vampires, basically Fane Othman's given you everything you need to know already. Now, regarding the royal family, with that kind of a role...
Yes! Royal family, everything about the royal family. Like, are they all pale and sickly and gnarly too? Is that just the inbreeding, or are they vampires? Like, what's up?
So you start with that approach. Is it a lineage of vampirism?
Do they all have sickle cell disease? Like, what's up?
And you go back a few generations and you're not really finding a lot of clues that would suggest it, beyond the fact that they are rich snobs. Which
A lot of paintings of Keanu Reeves, though.
tends to go hand in hand with vampirism, but there's nothing conclusive in it. But as you decide to go into a bit more of the recent history, to look in particular, there have been rumours around town of a scandal involving Princess Imrana before she was really hidden from the public. So you decided to read about, if there's any information on what happened. Now, you don't find any details on the incident itself that might have happened, but you do discover that it was around the time when... need to double check this name. When there was a royal visit. There's a visit to the palace of Tal Ras, is for a large official gathering by the Marquis Indris Nahama.
Marquis Indris.
And
What was that last name? Sorry?
Nahama.
Nahama.
Basically,
Okay, yeah.
Bahama with an N, I've just realized.
Love it. Very tropical.
And there have been rumours around Marquis Indris about him being a bit of a sadist, a bit of a sort of a local tyrant who rules over. He's a marquis, as in a margrave, a march lord. He rules over the marches, which are sort of the borderlands between the kingdom and the untamed wildlands. So these people tend to be given a lot of leeway to rule as they please, but the crown tends to become rather dependent on their support. So you can't categorically say that Marquis Indris is a vampire, but you have found so many little clues that you are now very firmly of the opinion that he probably is. There's just no way to prove it. And Marquis Indris attended a ball held at the royal palace in Tal Ras, where Princess Imrana was also present when she was about 16 or so, when she just turned 16.
Oh, rip,
And
it's all coming together.
it was immediately after that incident, you think, that she became
reclusive.
reclusive.
Oh,
That the crown decided she should no longer take a, be centre stage at royal events, and started moving her from one distant palace to another.
Right, and that would have been about 3 or so years ago. She's
Yes.
Well-
19 now.
So that's about 3 years ago. And as best as you can tell, after the incident, the Marquis returned to his land and continues to rule normally.
He's still around.
Yeah, he's a vampire.
So you can, with a 34...
his castle isn't perchance surrounded by, like, big spikes with people on them?
You can infer from all this that basically the king and the queen, the royal family, are aware of everything that's happened. They cannot afford to go public with it because it would potentially make an enemy of a marquis who they are dependent on. And so they are in quite a bind, and the princess is... you could argue that she is very much a victim of all this, although she is behaving less and less like a victim of late.
Okay. And what about Mr. Major Dodo? Is there anything on Mr. Crastus? If he's a court wizard, there has to be something on him, right?
You learn that very little about his role before becoming the court wizard to the princess, but that happened around the time that she was presumably turned. It's believed that he was already serving as a young prodigy, helping the court wizard to the king. And then when it was decided the princess would be sent away and would need her own court wizard, then he was appointed to the role. Beyond that, there's not much about him personally or his history or anything like that, except it records that he is good at his job. He is a very knowledgeable, very intelligent wizard.
Writing that down sassily. Good at his job, apparently. Good. Well, so there's a Tarthian vampire. Sorry, not Tarthian. Border marchland vampire. Sorry, I'm really quick to throw those guys under the bus. I feel like it's bus.
To be fair,
Carriage.
they sort of brought it on themselves by being super evil.
So yeah, the Marquis beat the princess, and now we have a vampire in charge. Yeah, quite literally. Borderland, the edge of the kingdom lords. Yes. Well, now what do we do with the information?
Panic? I don't know.
Orsi, did you find anything about reversing vampirism?
Reversing vampirism?
I don't think that's a thing.
I mean, it's not in the books, but
You ever
no
heard
one,
of
no
that?
one wants that.
Has Orsi ever heard of anything about reversing vampirism?
I mean, you rolled so high on the check, I just assumed you might find something in the library that...
Maybe a skim. I don't know. It's busted.
There is nothing specifically about how to undo vampirism. I will get an intelligence check from Orsi and a something check from Morzod. Could be medicine, religion, whatever you think is appropriate.
Not religion. Not religion. Medicine,
Never
no.
religion.
Medicine's fine. We'll
Sure.
do medicine.
17. I got 17. Probably should have saved that.
Oh,
that
rip. It was right next to the 20, but I got a 2. Morzod's
Okay.
got no idea.
Having a great time reading that vampire fanfic.
Yeah.
Lend you some books, Morzod.
So, Orsi, you think you cannot think of any way to just remove the curse of vampirism from somebody. You think that the person they are now as a vampire it's not like they've been modified and they've got this little thing attached to them that you can peel off or something like that. They are a new being that has been forged
I don't know,
by the
man.
vampirism. But
That's some.
there is one possible way which nobody would probably like. It would be to slay the vampire,
Killing them and then bringing them back with a true
resurrection.
Yep.
Which arguably could be the best thing for the princess. But
I have two options for you, Vatericus. One is nothing. And the second one is that the princess, I'm going to use like third person language here. The princess is killed and then is brought back via a true resurrection spell.
Okay, we can do that. Sorry, that could be done.
Yes, it's third person language.
Vatericus, with your passive perception, you realise that Glower is still watching you.
She's fine. Look,
it's
Dad's fine.
But Fethwit could help us with the back end of
Okay,
that.
Vatericus, if you're going to want him to help us, you got to start using his name properly, bud. I don't think that's his name.
Because when you call him that, he can't hear you.
Is he real? Is he real?
I mean, that's not his. That's not his real fake name, is what I'm saying.
Whole thing.
None of us are surprised, Morsel.
But yes, no.
That's a good point, though. If he only hears it when it's his name, then calling him Fethwit.
Just use his real fake name. Fethwire.
I bet he'd still hear it.
All right, but
yeah,
Fethwit has access to that sort of power.
We're relying a lot on gods when I feel like we shouldn't be.
I mean, that's fair, but I mean, he's already going to be helping us. Sorry, helping those who may go on to do something like this.
Exactly. It's far less incriminating if you use third person.
Oh, is that why you're doing it?
Yes, absolutely.
That makes more sense.
Also, Dad's definitely listening.
Do you think Tern would want to know what we're thinking?
We did promise to bring them info.
Yes, but at the same time, the more people we know, the more dangerous this is for everyone involved. If the princess would find out that Tern knew, Tern would most likely be dead.
Yeah, but I mean, they might be planning on killing him anyway.
Yeah, like if they're already talking about it, it kind of seems like if we tell him, he might be able to avoid getting it.
Start wearing one of them necklaces that's all made of garlic and stuff.
That's why I said we should get gorgets. Gorgets with little spikes on them.
If we covered ourselves in garlic, we would smell amazing.
Well, we smell like dinner.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay. Glower? Horsey's going to talk to Glower.
It smelled like
Does
dinner.
She do anything?
It smelled like dinner, just not her dinner.
No.
Glower, the head just slightly jerks to look directly at you.
She's so scary. Can you please get farther?
There's a very long pause.
I don't like scary bird in your house.
Slowly the head swivels 180 degrees.
All the way around.
She's fucking possessed.
And then
we knew that.
She used to do this when I was doing homework when I was little.
That's terrifying.
And beyond that, Glower does not
definitely a yikes.
Yeah, okay.
Is that bird for no?
Oh, the other thing, did we anything in there about what happened to the governor? Since that's kind of the original job?
No.
I don't think it would be in the books, no.
I mean, if there was a record of transition, right? If we knew he had a manifest that he was dumped on or whatever, but...
Well, we know he wasn't sent away, so... And there certainly wouldn't be any death records about it.
There is no information in the library about what happened
so
to
there's no, like,
Toll.
record of passage or anything like that. Yeah, cool.
Definitely is probably dead in the bottom of the dungeon.
Oof.
They seem to have kept the fox dude, so maybe his desiccated corpse is down there somewhere.
Do you think?
Zindy's saying that. Morzod has desiccated has too many syllables in it.
It's
Do
true.
you think Do you think that I don't know? Does she turn people into like not zombies, but like
Ghouls.
Certainly,
ghouls?
in some of the folk tales, there was talk about people being made into thralls of vampires.
Thralls? That's the word I was looking for.
Rolls.
Do you think she does that? Do you think she's going to like turn the entire guard captain cavalry into thralls or something?
That would be
Rule
gross.
from a seat of power.
And pretty
Undoubtedly.
scary.
It's exactly what I'd do.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
it makes sense. If you was a vampire, you'd absolutely do that thing.
That's terrifying.
Well, you know,
Yes.
if I were hypothetically some sort of hyper-charismatic magical sort with the capacity to bend the minds of others to my will, I would absolutely just get a guard garrison on
I'm
myself.
really worried that you're a little bit too excited about the vampire stuff.
She seems
Yeah.
fine. She's quite lovely.
You
We
want
had
to
a
kill the
wonderful
god.
evening.
You want to kill the god of death, but the vampire princess we're going to leave.
Don't they bewitch you? Vampires, I mean.
My
But we-
God!
Again.
Yes. I mean,
I'm gonna
yes,
dispel
but they do
magic on
like- Dance
dispel
with her
magic.
a whole lot.
Dispel magic on Vitericus just in case.
Vitericus, you can see that Orsi is about to cast a spell on you.
It's
my
not
God.
going to hurt, I promise.
What are you doing, buddy?
Just checking that you're not glamoured.
Suddenly, Ozzy's dad shows up. No counter spells in my library.
Oh my God! If I dispel magic, will he be naked in front of my dad? Is that how that
Yo!
armor works?
Comedy slide whistle.
Oh
Try
no!
and find out, buddy.
I just to make sure you're not glamoured or anything.
I mean, he's pretty.
He is
glamoured.
glamoured. That's what the armor does. You
Yeah,
mean,
I know.
You mean charmed?
He's nude.
Yeah, vampire glamoured. Yeah,
Charmed.
Vampire charmed.
Yeah.
Charmed. I don't think
Counterspell.
it's
Okay.
counterspell.
What level is dispel magic?
Oh my god,
I'm not telling him.
we're playing
I'm
spell
casting at a
tennis
third
in the
level.
stacks.
Okay.
Oh my
I was also-
god.
Okay, I was also casting it, but I counterspelled his counterspell, so too bad.
What happens if that? Are we just suddenly Legend of Zelda hitting it back and forward until someone mistimes?
No,
I only
Counterspell
have one
is-
reaction, so
Yeah, counterspell is
Yeah.
a reaction, so you can only do it once.
All right.
But I can counterspell his counterspell, and then my original spell goes off.
yes,
What level
Yeah.
is counterspell?
third.
If he's doing it at third level,
Then it
well, I mean,
should-
I was
Auto-
casting it at third level, so
should automatically succeed, I think.
Mhm.
So if this was Pathfinder, Aussie would lose because it just picks the most inconvenient one at any given time. Sorry, I'm never
cool.
going to stop
Alright,
whinging
so
about
you-
Pathfinder. Holy
well,
crap.
You've counterspelled my counterspell.
Well, I mean, what I'm thinking
Oscar
is, what
comes
if
in
we,
with a counterspell.
what if we did a
Counterspell,
roll off?
counterspell. Are they married now?
What if we did a roll off
All
to
right,
see
It's a roll off.
which kind of
it's a roll off.
take your spellcasting ability, intelligence
Yeah.
for
2 dice
Orsi,
go in.
charisma for
Uh-huh.
Vitericus. Just rolled of that ability.
Just,
Cool.
just with the modifier, or with
Yeah,
the intelligence, with my intelligence.
Just roll
modifier?
your intelligence.
It's the
just
same
an-
thing because
it-
that's my
yeah.
intelligence.
It's
Okay.
just
Yeah.
an intelligence ability check.
So just roll a d20 and then add the modifier.
Yeah.
Add your mod. 19 for me.
Shit, 14.
Okay, the Orsi's counterspell does not quite work. So
It dings off and hits Morzod in the face, and he kind of sneezes a bit.
your dispel magic fizzles out.
Yes. I said stay still. It wasn't going to hurt.
Well, I mean, this is just payback for not feigning death for me the other day.
Oh, I'm sorry that I didn't pretend to be dead. Have you been charmed by the vampire?
No, of course not. What sort of stupid question is that?
Would you
That's
tell us if
exactly
you had
that's
been?
exactly what someone who's been charmed by a vampire would say.
Morzon, can't you do anything?
What?
Can you do anything?
I mean, I could
Hit
slap
him over the head.
yeah, and see if he wakes up. But I don't know if that's really a thing that, you know.
We were literally just in a room with
Oh,
with a
we were in a
representative
room with
of
the
the
god
god
of
of truth.
truth
Yeah,
and
but
justice.
if he thought that shit was funny, maybe he'd leave it on there.
But at no point did Vitericus say, I am not working for the princess in the presence
That's a good
of
point.
Fane Othwin.
Whose voice was that? Fane Othwin, are you here?
Yeah, he's my buddy. He's my pal.
You just pinged him. He's sitting in the courthouse going, Jesus.
Every time we say his goddamn name. Vitericus, just let me dispel magic on you. It's not going to hurt. None of your stuff is going to get fucked up, I promise. It doesn't work
magic
on
always
magic
makes
objects.
me feel a bit uncomfortable. It upsets my stomach. I can't.
I'm uncomfortable with the situation.
I could still do the truthy thing, but that's kind of... I mean, if he thinks he's telling the truth, and, you know...
Well, if he's charmed, then how would he know?
Exactly.
Vitericus, your circular method of talking has come to your degradation right now.
There was too many syllables in that. I have no idea what you just said.
Let me dispel magic on you just in case. I don't even know if dispel magic works against charms. But also know that.
I think it would. Let me just...
Yes, it does. Magical effect.
Yeah, it's
Is
a
that
magical effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it is a magical effect and not something like, the innate ability of a fey being or something like that.
Oh, the innate ability of like a vampire?
Are they fey or just dickheads?
The vampire description. Well, you wouldn't know.
No, I have no idea.
Yep.
Indeed not.
I'm reading it, but you don't know.
No. So let me just let me dispel magic.
All right, fine.
Okay.
It'll keep you happy. Dispel magic.
Dispel magic.
I drop the glamour on my armor as he casts.
Oh,
What does
Oh
the
my
armor
God.
look like when it's unglamoured, though?
It's
I'm glamoring it for buck naked.
Right, okay.
Vitericus, it doesn't work on armor. I know you're being an idiot.
What are you doing, man?
Oh my god.
You dispelled too hard.
You just spelled all the way through.
My father's familiar is right there.
He's
Hey,
looking
girl.
at his Tadger.
Glower's head is tilting to one side.
Fortunately,
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
still
do-
wearing the belt. You see, it's a good belt.
I'm so glad that she recognizes the belt.
Okay,
naked but for the belt.
Glower lets out a ear-piercing shriek like owls can do.
She's a Stygian owl, for anyone who's wondering.
Right.
And yes, which Orsi, is basically Glower announcing somebody is doing something inappropriate in the library.
All right, fine. I'll
I mean,
glamour back to normal.
He's been here the whole time, Glower.
Right. You just got told on. Welcome to my hell.
Oh no. Whatever will I do?
Oh, you say that.
At this, you hear Oscar's voice shout out, "Orsi!"
Is he going to do the
Oh,
full
God.
name? What's his middle name? I feel like he's going to use...
His middle name is Oscarson, because he's Oscar's son.
We'll see Oscarson Lichtenbronn.
Ossinaris Oscarson Lichtenbronn. That's his full name. That's when he's
has
in
he
real.
got-
That's his bad trouble,
I
yeah.
was going to say, how many names has he got? And his dad's probably got all of them.
It's the one where it's like if one of your parents is like your full name, it's like, oh no, I'm fucked.
Imagine
Yeah.
I used the full name.
He's in
the
trouble.
I've got it buried in my notes somewhere. I'd have to dig it up.
Howard,
He's got
full
a-
name.
His elf name is basically like, he doesn't like it because it's like the elf version
Oh,
of like
Jesus.
Miriam. It's like an old person's name. He doesn't use it.
That owl, though.
Oscar
Holy shit.
charges in, having moments before taken the cue to view through his familiar's eyes to see what was happening, and
And he has seen too much.
charges in
Ooh.
and goes to Vitericus and says, "You, out of my library."
Out of my library.
That seems
"You,
fair.
young man," says to Orsi.
Oh,
You can see he's taking a long moment to calm himself. And eventually says,
wincing. Yeah, just
"This is not the place for whatever it is you just did." Please leave now.
Okay. He's probably go. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely going.
Orsi is going to not leave, though, because he doesn't want to talk to his dad.
Okay.
And as the others walk away and Orsi remains, Oscar says, "You're still here."
Yeah, I mean, I assume you heard everything we were talking about, right?
Some of it.
I mean, it's pretty important. If you're going to be here, this place is going to be ruled by, like, a vampire queen or something.
If you're right about this.
I mean, look at the information. Look at the marquee. Everything. It makes sense. I mean, you served the royal family. You must have known about the scandal, right?
Give me a persuasion check, please, Orsi.
Oh, god damn it. I rolled a 2.
Actually, I was about to say persuasion with advantage because you do have some records to show him that you've researched very thoroughly. If you're earlier 34.
You got an 8. These dice are really good at the character.
Was it in the library?
And he says,
evidence is right here, I swear.
You got lucky once. These fanciful notions of yours are going to lead to your doom. I'll not help you anymore in this. Please leave my
You're
library.
big on the doom.
Oh, Dad, it could lead to your doom. What if you get eaten by a vampire?
Out now.
Ugh. Fine. He's gonna go. Cass, you coming?
And Cass says, actually, I also wanted to look up something while I was here.
Traitor.
I'm not with them.
If that's all right, sir. And Oscar says, well, yes, of course. Whatever you need. And Cass says, can I find you later?
It's fine. I don't care. The library's better than coming with us anyway. We're all going to get eaten by a vampire.
Oh, please don't.
Ossie will leave.
Okay. So as they leave...
When he turns around, I hope that Glower can see the little lump in the back of his robe, which is Glow, cowering in fear.
Yeah. And as it becomes clear that Cass is staying, I get the impression that for a moment, Melville actually peeks out from under Cass's robes and is thinking about running to join Glow, but can't abandon his master and climbs back up.
Look, see that Glow? So much more loyal.
You get a little slight scratch.
I was going to say, little beak on the back of the neck.
At least you aren't that kind of owl. All right. Okay. I'm back. Right. Went about as well as it usually does with him. So, we're on our own.
All right.
I would like to not be banned from the library, though, so...
Yeah, that would be difficult.
Well, save the princess, and I'm sure we'll be allowed wherever we want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
The princess mostly consists of killing the princess.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Cass is staying in the library for now, too, which I honestly think is better, because I don't want him getting eaten by a vampire either, because if he turns into a vampire, it's over for all of us.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to him.
Yeah, no, he is a raging narcissist. We're all going to die if he turns into one. In a loving way. So, anyway. What are we going to do? What can we do? Tern? Do we speak to Tern? Tern's going to die. Seriously. Either way.
We have to talk to the captain. Mm-hmm.
Well, do you want me to send a message? I can't go into the palace anymore, otherwise I'm going to get my head cut off.
That's true. Captain Rowe, should we tell Captain Rowe? Is the city guard going to be any help?
Do we want
like
how
not
many
in
people
the
do we have
palace
involved?
all the time.
She might have a meltdown if we also said, oh, and by the way,
vampires.
All the other shit you're dealing with, and also we're pretty sure the princess is a vampire.
Yeah, I think we should probably find Tern while he is not in the palace.
All right, let's do it.
He must
Should we send
sometime.
Tern a message?
I mean, if we send him a message and say we've got something to say and there's more than 25 words in it.
Oh, can we do one of those things where perhaps we meet in 2 separate rooms and we talk through the walls?
Or we could meet at like a pub and just sit at 2 separate tables and talk backwards.
I thought you
That-
guys
that
didn't
works.
like it when I talked across tables.
It's less that you talk across tables and more that you just talk very loudly and everyone can hear
Well,
you.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
if you
no,
were
that-
sitting at a different table, I could absolutely still talk to him, but I feel like you guys would tell me off because I'd be
Well,
talking
we're
to him
quietly.
over there. But I
No.
can't
One of
quite-
we have our backs
to
to each
someone's
other.
over there.
It's a bit- all right, I'm sending a message. What do we say? What do we say?
Meet us at the inn.
Come to
Okay,
the pub,
I'm
Princess
I'm
Vampire.
okay. Yep.
Us
Meet us at
discuss.
the which inn? We have to be specific.
Which inn do we want to meet at?
Surely we can just go to the gardens, right? You can walk.
All
through
right,
the
I can't
botanic
get over to
garden.
the gardens. I'm not allowed in
Yeah,
there.
no, he's not allowed on
He's
the
not allowed
grounds at
anywhere
all.
near
Oh,
it.
that's right. You're not allowed on the grounds at all.
What's
Damn
a
it, why-
pub that...
This is really inconvenient, Aussie. What do you?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's better, because we can eat at the same time.
That's
Also,
true.
can we just really quickly, can we just circle back to the fact that now basically a Tarthian has a death magic weapon in their grasp?
Well, not for long. It'll be fine.
Like
I
thinking...
mean, not for long.
Well, I assume we're going to kill Kova as part of this.
Oh, shit.
Hang on. We don't need to kill her.
we
We just
not?
need to get her spellbook.
Is that not the plan?
I mean, we
mean,
can kill her, but we can take her
fine.
spellbook first.
But it's just when we try and kill someone like Hovafan, it seems like really possible that she could kill us back or first.
And also potentially start a war with Tart again.
And like you always start these fights and you're always the first one to get knocked out and it's really stressful.
Yeah, and then you guys save the day, and it's fine.
Yeah, but
See?
she's really strong.
Easy
Don't
money.
worry, are you okay? You sound very emotional.
I was outside for most of the fight with Kovafan, but I heard a lot of bad noises.
I was inside a fog cloud, so what do I know?
Yeah, I ran inside to try and help and then I got lost in the fog, so...
Oh, I'm sorry that the fog saved us. How rude.
I hit some gits with a chair and pointed at some other ones. It was real fun.
Okay,
but-
okay. I'm sending a message. Sending a message.
Remember
Where
to
are we?
tell him that it's us who he asked to do some work for him.
I'm sure that when I'm in his brain, he will know. All right, what am I saying? Where are we meeting?
I
We
really
have
love to look at you
info. Meet us at... What's the pub we've been going to?
The Grumpy Swallow.
At
Grumpy
the
Swallow.
Grumpy Swallow at
At-
sunset.
At sundown. Okay.
Down. Do we want to?
Oh my God, you're
Sundown?
right. We should be doing business during the day. We're safe.
Yes. There we go.
Oh,
The guard captain's
lunch rush.
working. Lunch
Well,
break.
I mean,
okay.
what's the time? I was going
It
to
is
say.
currently
lunchtime?
about 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
tomorrow, lunch rush.
It's late summer, so the sun will still be up for a
Oh,
few
sun will be
yeah,
hours.
up to a little bit.
be up to like 9.
Come
Maybe-
if convenient. If inconvenient, come anyway.
Like now?
Yeah. Why not? Where are we going?
Okay, well, no, good point. Their life is on the line. Okay.
Yeah. If we give him a night in the palace.
He could die. You're right.
Princess.
Okay.
Add
That's a good
add an
point.
extra bit where you like make it clear that he is like in danger.
Oh, yeah, you're in danger.
Okay. Yeah. I got it. Yep. Okay. Cast message
Oh,
to
my-
Tern, to guard Captain Tern.
Mhm.
Okay. It's Orsi. Don't be alarmed. Your life in danger. Meet us at Grumpy Swallow ASAP. How many words is that? Was that 20?
I'm not sure I should let you get away with ASAP. I mean, yeah, it's only 15 words, so you could just say as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. Quickly. Okay, that's 3 ums now.
Yeah.
It involves
Don't-
vampires.
Don't sit with us.
Don't pretend you don't know us. I don't know if that makes it into the message, but if it does, then yeah.
Okay.
No, I think there were so many ums that.
He's getting better.
Mm.
He's getting better.
Message comes back fairly quickly.
Ballad.
There's something happening here. Can this wait?
Not Really?
Shit, can we
And
cast
another
that again?
message. Yes. God damn, man. I used 2 dispel magics on Vatericus because he was being a jerk. 4th level. Wasting my damn spell slots. All right. Cast another message. Okay. Yes, it's important. It's your life. Information we have. Jedi Knight you are. Okay, let's go.
His reply comes back. I'll try. And with that, we are going to finish tonight's session of AntipoDnD.
Start.
We will be back next week to see whether Tern succeeds.
Exciting in getting out before they bite him.
What happens, what our players are going to do about the vampire in the palace. Thank you very much for watching. We will be back in a week's time. Bye.